What's up, YouTube? Mr. LlamaSC here, and today we're going to be going over the Mr. LlamaSC Diablo 2 Resurrected beta questionnaire feedback for the developers form survey that you guys filled out. Congratulations, great job, everybody. I was very impressed. We had almost 5,800 responses, which is fantastic for like, what, a day and a half or whatever it is. So good on you. Thanks for filling it out. And good on everybody who shared it around as well to make sure we could get proper feedback on the forums for them. Now, the question is,
YouTube voice.
Why did we not pause the alerts? Good reminder. Thank you. The question is, why did we close this right now, and why are we going over these results right now? And the reason is because we have the open beta coming up in about a week, and we don't know what's going to happen with the open beta, if they're going to make any changes prior to it. Once again, we don't know how old this build was, and we don't know if there's going to be some new build that's going to be out. If it will be the exact same build, we haven't been told that information yet. But on the chance that there is a whole new thing coming out, or they've at least patched some things, changed some things, fixed some of the crashing, whatever, which I imagine they're working on, like the game crashes and stuff. I feel like it's worth at least duplicating the survey over and having just a new form of it so we can go back and look again and say, hey, how many times has my game crashed this time in the open beta as opposed to the closed beta? Or maybe it's worse and it crashes a lot more then. Like we don't want those results kind of mixed together. So that's why we've closed it, and why we're going to be looking at closed beta and then open beta. So we'll have another feedback form for that. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump in. So we're going to go over. And once again, I'm going to talk a little bit. I think I messed up on the number of days or weeks, whatever I just said. So whatever it is, you guys know what I meant, and we'll just leave it at that. But let's jump in. And really quick, before I jump in, I want to let you guys know that once again, I know that this wasn't the most perfect survey and every single question wasn't exactly neutral and whatever. But at the same time, it's not supposed to be like a positive survey. This is supposed to be, do you think it's okay, or do you think it needs changes? Not like, oh, I loved it and I thought it was wonderful and all of this stuff, right? Like those things, that's great, but like just put okay there, right? We're not sending this feedback to the devs to be like boosting their egos, right? We can give them all sorts of praise. That's why I had that one little question at the bottom that's like, what did you love about it? It's not a biased survey in the way that it leads you to only have a specific answer. It's just in the way of it's either good, like it's fine, or where's the levels of wrong within it, right? That is kind of the space of it. But once again, I'm not a professional survey maker. This is what we have, all right? I created something that I felt was fine, and I think these questions get enough of the point across for a lot of the things. The other piece is there's some responses I have that I disagree with what you guys and the majority of people said, and that's okay. That's why I'm gathering this feedback and sending it over to them so that they will have that and they can say, cool, here's what the majority of people want, and answer the phone. And so this is where answer it. So this is where the conflict is fine, because once again, I'm not trying to tell them how to build this exactly. I'm trying to get every single one of us together so that we can all go to them as a group and say, this is overall how we feel. So with that being said, let's jump in. Blizzard's calling. The first question, I actually want to make this bigger. So we can zoom in on it more. Cool. What do you think of the font in the game? And the majority of people said it's fine. I'm on the needs slight adjusting side. This is where I would have voted. Just a slight boldening, a slight less spacing on it, something like that. But 60% of people think it's fine. What do you think of the cursor size? Once again, 53% say perfect and 34% don't care. I'm probably in the don't care train. You could say maybe it's a little bigger than before, but I think it's fine. Once again, there is only 7% of people who thought it was too big. So for people who think so, that's a very small percentage. So it's really interesting to see like this sort of feedback, right? I would have imagined more people would have had one, too big or something like that. But most people don't care. I think it's fine. So like, once again, when the devs see this, they'll probably be like, all right, sweet. we cover like 85% of people just with how it is. How do the current load screens feel to you? 50% say it's playable enough, but would prefer less. 45% say it's playable enough completely or fine. And only 4.4% feel like the load screens are unplayable. I think this is, once again, perfectly in that realm. It is playable, right? Like, it's playable enough. And if they can knock down a little bit, like intra waypoint between acts, that'd probably be helpful. But for the most part, only 4% of people felt like it was unplayable. So that's still good to note right there. How often would you like the D2 ladder to reset? It seems like 4 months and 6 months. I probably should have just removed 5 months and just said 3, 4, 6 or more. But 4 or 6 months seems to be the spot that people really like. 3 months definitely has lesser for votes right there. So I think in the future, maybe we do like 3, 4, 6 after open beta when we ask again or something, because 5 just doesn't seem to have popularity. But people don't really want more than that either. 5 is a weird ladder length. I know, I just put 3, 4, 5, 6 in there, but I didn't think about like, it's a dumb answer to have. Regardless, yeah. So it seems 4 to 6 accounts for a majority of the people though. Or 5 is the compromise maybe. Every shared stash has its own gold stash. I think a lot of people didn't know this. Do you prefer this? And the majority said no. Majority don't care. Majority said no, and then don't care and yes are the same. So that is a lot of people that do not like it. It is a little strange. It doesn't quite feel right, but you do get a ton of gold because you have 4 stashes to fill up. But yes, I think I can understand why a lot of people do not like it. How often did your game crash in the beta? So we have more than once per hour was 6%. Once per hour was 10%. Once per few hours was 34%. Once a day was 26%, and never was 23%, which is surprising. That's a lot of people that never crashed. So overall, not as bad on the crashing, but the once per few hours seemed to be the most common. I'm probably between here. I don't know which one I would pick. I crashed an okay amount for sure. But I played probably 45 hours, and I probably crashed like 30 times. So probably fit into that then. If you're a console player, how important are lobbies to you? 70% are not console players. So there you go. 30% of people are console players. And very important was the dominating, followed by important, and only a tiny fraction comparatively there. So, it's still good to see, even if with 70% that are NA, still good to see just how much consoles do matter right there, and this is something that we'll definitely bring up to them. Would you like ladder runewords to be on non-ladder as well? Overwhelmingly, yes. Very surprising. Not really. But only 16% would not. like ladder ruiners to be there. I mean, some people want ladder ruiners and ladder only items to like be just for ladder because it's like the special place and all that stuff. But a majority of people said that they would like them there. And I especially imagine with the launch, people are keeping in mind, because they just, I'm sure for a lot of people, ladder to non-ladder, the whole point isn't for ladder to be, like this like space where you only get specific things. It's just like, this is like the new season, right? So new ranks start over, but like, why are certain items restricted to just that? That's my assumption of what they're aiming at. Select all parts of the user interface that bothered you. And this one is, a little surprising and definitely conflicts with my personal thoughts, but that's okay. So right here, you're basically going to see the percentage of people that answered yes for it. So for instance, pink doors, hard to see on map, had the highest total at 73%. Followed by no filter for games to search and can't tab between game and password, which are very solid ones. And unable to double click / press enter to join a game. Also has a high amount there. Hard to distinguish uniques and rare colors apart. That actually has a decent amount of votes. Delete character button looks like the exit game button. Yeah. Stat skills remaining hard to see at the bottom. And that's 33% there. So even still, I mean, a lot of these aren't majority selected, but, just overall, you still get the number, right? And then you're going to have less select in this giant checklist, essentially. Hostile box, difficult to see, chat box at bottom, things like that. A lot of people didn't care about the X button to close at the top instead of the bottom. That one was very low. A lot of people didn't care about the password on the party screen or the placement of the party icons, or can't scroll map on console, but that's probably because a lot of people aren't console players. So that's probably, the console. I should probably have made a separate question here for console players to address some of the console issues, just considering how many were PC. I'm sure this password on party screen doesn't matter if you're not streaming, right? But, overall, it's still good to see kind of some of the things that people really cared about and felt like were issues. And, of course, not being able to tab between game and password is still a lot. Yeah. Are there any skills or graphics that you did not like? I thought it was very interesting looking through these responses because a lot of it was no. Yeah, you see a smite. Okay, Holy Freeze maybe. Volcano. Well, I'm guessing that's pixelated volcano. Bow and spear. Inferno. I don't know how people don't like Inferno. Smite, Whirlwind, Blizzard. What? It's so good. There's a whole list of issues there, which isn't the question exactly, but, So you definitely see some things, but for the most part, none was the biggest answer within all of this. So same with graphics. Graphics was really no. Mask, gloves, these are item graphics. Potions, no. Some of the rings, crystal sword. Same dude. Caps maybe. So, yeah, a lot of people really felt like the graphics were good. And then the sounds also was similar. Weapon swap, level up sound, no hostile sound, Mr. Llama's voice, cute. Yeah. So they'll be able, once again, we're going to send all that over and they'll be able to look through those responses and see and kind of look for, patterns and whatnot. How long would you be willing to wait for the ladder to start if not right on launch day? The majority said as long as it takes to get the servers and game stable. 62%. So could I maybe have added, I probably should have added another time that was like 3 weeks to 2 months maybe or something. I don't know. There's probably, this question probably needs a little bit better range. Maybe a different way to answer it, where you just like pick an amount of time yourself and it averages down or something. But overall, still, majority say, yeah, if it takes time, then 2 to 3 weeks, 1 week, 1 to 3 days, and 0 days is 10%. So no ladder ever. If they do that, though, people would definitely be pissed. Current purchase status, 80% have pre-ordered. And then buying before launch is 4.7. 11% are waiting to see how launch goes. Undecided and not buying is only 1.3% of it. So pretty interesting how many had pre-ordered from this. Considering all the Twitch drops and everything like that, I would have imagined less people would have been in that pre-order train. But that's surprising. So once again, this will be great when we do the open beta, because I'm sure this number will be lower, right? Like, obviously, many pre-orders are going to have answered this because pre-order got you access to the closed beta. Obviously, Twitch drops did as well, so they're going to have, we're going to have that 20% or whatever there that got it from that. But, like, this is more of the, answers from people that pre-ordered and are, more ready, blah, 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 whatever, want to play it. So this is very interesting. I thought it would be less that had already pre-ordered, and I think this is a very useful metric, and one that will repeat the question in the open beta survey, because if it's way less pre-order and get wildly different responses on other things, that could definitely be telling, right? Do you play Diablo 2 online private realm mods? No is 57%. Yes is 43%. So majority do not, but there's still an okay amount. And then down here, would no online multiplayer mod support be a deal breaker? No is 53%, which I think lines up pretty well with the people that don't play. Maybe is 27%, and yes is 19%. So not nearly as many would consider it a deal breaker, even from people that say they do play online private realm mods. Which I was surprised. I thought more people would say yes to this. I would probably want to rephrase this question where it's like for only, or maybe I don't care, or for only people who play mods. I think those things could potentially be added in. So maybe some question difficulty there. Would you like an option for health bars above minions? 49% said yes, they would. I thought that was interesting. Maybe 27 and 23% said they would not like that option. Would you like to change how Diablo clone is spawned from selling SOJs to a different way? It's an option. Like, once again, it would be an option. You can turn it off, right? Yes was 41%, maybe was 40%, and no was only 18%. Well, some people would say no to an option because it's time that takes away to develop it and work on it and whatever things, right? Or it does too much to change the game in whatever ways, right? So a lot of people seem in favor of changing the Diablo clone spawn. If you have ideas, how would it go? And then there's various ideas. Organs are standard of heroes, something involving hard bosses, random timer, random game, global timer or cubing something, make it an event every month. That could be kind of a fun thing. Every first Saturday of the month, it's Annie's Day or, Diablo clone days. Who knows? How many hours of the beta did you play? 40% played 12 plus hours. Surprising. 9 to 12 hours is 20%. 26%, 5 to 8, 1 to 4, 10%, and less than 1 hour is only 2.5%. So a lot of people had some good playtime on it. How many hours have you played roughly in your life? Once again, another metric I think will be interesting after the open beta. Less than 100 is 4, 100 to 500 is 8, 500 to 1500 is 17%, 1500 to 3000 is 20%, 3000 to 10,000 is 30%, and 10,000 plus is 21%. Jesus, get a life, you guys. But 50% over 3,000 hours. Oh, God. How many more days of the beta testing do you think the game needs? 0 days was 5%. 1 to 5 days was 20%. 5 to 10 days was 34%. 10 to 20 was 19%. And 20 plus days was 20%. Meaning, I mean, at least 40% of people think it needs 10 plus days, if not more. And 75% of people roughly think it needs at least 5 more days. I agree with that. Would you be okay with a launch delay if it was necessary to polish the game more? 68% said yes, 17% said maybe, and only 14% said no. Wow. People really, I thought there would be way more no's, but people want this to launch right, which I think makes sense because after seeing Reforged and things like that, yeah, we've been waiting 21 years. I think we have patience. Games are still playing fine. Yeah, you want to get it right. So I'm on the yes train, surprisingly, even though I'm like very eager. I don't want this thing, but I don't want to wait a year, you know. But like, if a couple months, a month, I want it released still in 2021, but I want it released right, you know. If it's got to go to October, November, or whatever. But yeah. Do you think Blizzard should create a trade site for Diablo 2? 48% said yes. 28% don't care, and 23% said no. It's surprising to see responses sometimes. I gotta say. It's interesting. A lot of people's thought is probably people would try and use JSP anyways, so you might as well just make a trade site that, you know, other people don't want. You know, I mean, you're going to have a mix. What device do you plan to play D2 Resurrected on? This was a checkbox, which is why the percents don't add up, because you can play on multiple. So that's why, you know, like, so 92% are going to play on computer, and then 11% for those consoles. I forgot the phone. Oh, I'm so sorry. But yeah, a lot of people, it seems like, will play on a console and the computer. I mean, a majority is computer, but even the console people will still play on the computer, it seems like. Would you like to see future content added post-launch? 70% say yes. 22% say maybe. And only 7%, actually 9, say no. Wow. People want that new content, man. And I think this also shows people trust Vicarious Visions a lot as well to make that content. What was your favorite thing from the beta? If you can't tell what most people answered here. Once again, you can look at patterns. I can probably try and take these loose forms and put them into some more things that are like graphics or, whatever stuff. Take some of the top answers from this. Controller support. Graphics really, memories and graphics hits it. Overall, rate your experience playing this. It looks like an 8. 7 to 8 seems to be the spot. Overall, probably land around like a 7.7 or something. Which is around, I'm like a 7 on that beta. I'm a little lower than probably the average here, but I think it's fair. I think this is fair. Pretty good distribution. And how likely are you to recommend D2 Resurrected to another person? Overall, pretty likely. What a corporate question. Yeah, we had to throw the corporate question in at the end. Had to toss it in. But overall, I think these are positive things. Once again, we've gone through and had a bunch of feedback and issues, and obviously they're getting all the bug reports from your guys' bug reports and the beta and all that stuff. And now, at the very end, I think this is still a positive takeaway for them. They can say, look, people still enjoyed it a lot. There's obviously some room, fixing some stuff, and people would still recommend it. Like, still solid, So, yeah. Gotta change my headset. So those are the results right there. Those are the results. Overall, some surprises for sure. But I'm very happy to see, the feedback from everybody, and I think this is going to be useful to the developers. And at the same time, I think this is going to be it's good to see that the loud minority of negativity isn't the kind of arching like opinion of everybody. Like, most people still thought there was a lot of good in this. And once again, we are at the point where we definitely want to nitpick. We definitely want to say, hey, the weapon swap, glitch bug is broken. Hey, you should bring back bugging items, and hey, like, there's lag and this is broken and all of these things, because that's where we're at, right? We're at the point where we need to nitpick and go there. But overall, I still thought the beta was really fantastic, and I think a lot of people also felt that way. So, yeah, these are the results. Like I said, I will have a open beta feedback form. I'll copy some of these questions across. I might not copy all of them if I don't feel like they need to. For instance, like, what do you think of the font in the game? I don't know if we need to ask it again. Maybe it'd be good to get the feedback from people there, but it seems like the font and the cursor, people don't care too much, right? So maybe this is one of those ones that we just chalk up and say, hey, that's just how it is. People seem fine with it. But I'll copy over, like, what console are you playing, or what device are you using to play, and how long have you played the game, and all of that stuff. So we'll still have some of the things across. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know your feedback about these results if you were surprised. Anything like that in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that's a thing that apparently you say and then it works. And yeah, peace, YouTube. I forgot I was on YouTube. Oh, and ring the bell. Gosh dang it. I forgot to say ring the bell. I always forget. I don't do that enough.